Now, what I had looked at was, um, here's the central parietal average. And these are my scans. So I got a what was it? Anyway, when I first did the test in 2016, I got a 4.0 on central parietal average, and then it improved to 5.5 with just some my modifications, and then when Dr. Boone got on, it went from 7.6 to 9.3, and then Dr. Boone got even a higher score. So anyway, I'm just saying that with this test, it's a physiologic test that will change with improved internal physiologic activity, and so it's really, and you can't get this. I don't know how else you get it. You give them a neuropsych test. How many of you ask for neuropsych tests? Good answer. Because, I mean, I try to. I've got 3 or 4 patients I want right now to get neuropsych tests, just to prove to the patient that they're having issues. And it takes me 3.5 months to get in, plus a lot of times your insurance doesn't pay, and it's expensive. And I don't want the whole gigantic neuropsych test. I just want to say, look, here is an issue you have. Please pay freaking attention. I did the WAVi test, and he said, well, isn't that interesting? It was like, you've got a problem. Okay. Now, we have the amplitudes that I just showed you on the P300. Did you get that kind of? All right. And then the other thing I look at a lot is this frequency spectral analysis. The frequency is all these little squiggly lines, and this is a 1 second period from here to here, or 2 seconds on the little screen. How many brain waves do we get in a 1 second period? And if you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, say 10, that's 10, or 9.5. And so when you come over here, the computer shows you that the predominant frequency is 9.5. Now, each one of these little bars is, the computer's figured it out. So all of a sudden now you have this spectrum of frequencies. So this would be like, 0.5, 1, 1.52, and then all of a sudden you get into this blue area, and the blue area is called the alpha spectrum. And so each one of these little hash marks down here, that's 5, 10, 15. Now, alpha goes from about 8 to 12, or approximately. And so it's actually 13. But the computer will then analyze this and then give you a score. But it'll also be able to say, you don't need the score, you just need to look. Like, this is really good, okay? It's in the blue, it's in the alpha range. This is a guy who actually had a bunch of concussions, and he's worrying about CTE because he's my age. He was in my class in college. And I mean, he played a 2-lane game and lined up with the other team after he got whacked, and that was not good. And then he played against Wyoming and doesn't remember the game at all. All right, and he's really, really concerned about CTE. I did the EEG on there. And the guy's great. I mean, of all of his teammates, he had the best, and he was the one that had the most concussions. All right, but he needed to know that because he and his wife were really anxious about where their life is going. This guy was another teammate, and he played for the pros for 3 years, and said, hey, something to me, we were skiing together. I was on the ski team in college. This guy was on the football team. He's a way better skier than I am. And he said, Frank, something wrong. I said, Mike, nothing wrong with you. You're smarter than I am, and you're a better athlete than I am, and you're cool. And he goes, no, something's going on. And I'm thinking, okay, so we did the WAVi test, and we'll get to that later. But you get the concept, right? It's just this frequency analysis is really important. That's not good. That's amazing. Okay. So, that was it. All right. Yeah, so for the doc who had, turns out, some vascular impairment, vascular dementia, his scans, this is his scans here. So you can see that there are, bumps. Now that's at, 78 years old. And this is the 73-year-old who had real dementia, right? So when I saw that, I said, see, you don't really have dementia, you've got something, but I don't know what it is. It's not great, but it's not horrible, right? So let's do all the metabolic stuff we can do, and that's why I sent them out. Anyway, I think it's very helpful. And it's like, it was also nice that it's surprising, and also there's not too much information, and there's not too much information, but there's enough to make a decision from a medical standpoint.
How early will that show up on an Alzheimer's patient?
When I did this, it was 6 years before he died, but he knew that there was something wrong.
The diagnosis was already made? No.
No.
Okay.
No, he just said, hey, something wrong.
Okay.
And what he was doing, he was going to a clinic to do neurofeedback. And he said, it's not working. It's not, it must be working. You're doing well. He goes, no, man, something's weird here. And he's the nicest guy. I mean, like a week before he died, he was walking around, his neighborhood, saying hi, what a nice day and all that stuff. Very, very superficial, interactions. Didn't get lost, and he had like zeros on the amplitude. So yeah, this was 5 years before he passed, and 6 months before he died, he was out skiing, and so this is weird, that he could go down that fast.